we play a game?
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game.
Ever wonder what happened to those weird guys in your school? Probably in jail. Please enjoy the Misfits on AM 860. The Answer, the new KPAM.
Oh, that's right. I say this every week. If you hear Lemmy, that means it's time to talk video games.
Yeah.
And
Wait.
we actually still have been.
Oh, yeah.
We have been talking video games. We are continuing our discussion with Neal Bauer. He is with Double Plus, and they just launched a new video project called Double Plus Collectible Roadshow, which, if you know the PBS series Antiques Roadshow, it's very similar, but for cool people who play video games, not people that own
I don't know that
China.
cool people.
Oh, yes, they do. Oh, yes, they do. And I will fist fight you if you say otherwise. But Neal Bauer is with us, and he is with Double Plus, and he is the co-host of Double Plus Collectible Roadshow, and I have known him forever. He is truly salt of the earth, good people. So,
Hey, Neil, do you think you could get Travis an Xbox One?
Oh, yeah. That's funny you say that. So I protested both the Xbox One and Switch. And so I didn't buy an Xbox. And I made it a point to put it out there on videos. Like, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to buy an Xbox. Well, then Microsoft wound up sending me 2 dev kits. So I have 2 dev kits. So if you're a developer, Travis, I'll just send you one.
oh, I wish I was a developer. Wait. I am now a developer. James
fantastic.
He just crowned me a developer.
You are a developer, sir.
I can now develop on the Microsoft Xbox One platform. I am sanctioned.
Dude, if it means you
I
can
was
play
gonna say,
Xbox
this is a
games
good
with
time-
me.
Oh, sorry. This is a good time for me to say that I also protest the Nintendo Switch. I do not want a Nintendo Switch Nintendo, so please do not send me 2 dev kits.
I do not want an Xbox 5. I think it just combined the new PlayStation and the Xbox, because
Yes,
I'm
it
pretty
did.
sure it's the Xbox Scarlet.
Yes.
I do not want one of those either.
No. So I was thinking back on the oldest video game item system console thing that I have that I would bring to the table. I own, and I don't think it's Magnavox. I actually think it might have been an off-brand, but it is a self-contained Pong unit, and I don't think it's officially called Pong. I think it's called Video Hockey. But it ran off a 9-volt battery. It came with 2 paddles that seriously had 6 inches of cord on each little panel.
You had to play very
You had to
close
play
to
right
your
next to
opponent,
your
yeah.
opponent. And the sound didn't come out of the TV. It came out of the actual unit. And I think that is the oldest item that I own. I don't know if it's the rarest, but it's the oldest.
For a while, I had a, and I don't know what happened to it. I think it got lost in one of the moves. But back in the 80s, they had miniaturized stand-up, not consoles, but arcade games.
Yeah.
They were just miniaturized, but they had like really terrible graphics. Like, you can get them now, but the graphics are really good. But back then, it was just the worst graphics. I had Pac-Man. So, Neil, what is the oldest thing that you have in your collection?
I can't compete with you guys. You guys go way back to the PlayStation era. No, here's the thing. Let's talk about, we have like punch cards, and I have like the original Atari in its box. Like, that's all stuff that I've brought up from the past. But I think instead of talking about the oldest thing, because there's a bunch of things in there that are old, like Pong or the Magnavox Odyssey. Like, that was my original console, the where you had to sit in front of the TV in front of the radiation box.
I loved it.
1 foot away. Yeah.
It had the light gun, and you could shoot the haunted house. The ghost that popped up in the window of the haunted house was awful and wonderful.
So one of the crazy things, I think you'll like this, in the Atari era, and this isn't the oldest thing, but it's something that I think is really cool. It's called the Starpath Supercharger. And the Starpath Supercharger, you guys remember the Atari 2600, right?
Yep.
The wood grain finish. Yep. So this was a long cartridge that had a handle on the end, like essentially like you were just pushing this cartridge in and then launching putting in the launch codes after it. So it's like that heavy duty. Then it had a cable that went out into an audio cassette player, and it added a whopping 6 kilobytes to the Atari 2600, like 128 bytes of RAM. So that's a 49% increase of RAM. So that is 6,000 bytes of RAM went into it. And that equates, I'm going to do some quick calculations. A byte is 0.006 megabytes. So it added a ton of power to the...
But seriously, 50% more power on the 2600?
That, for the time, that's huge.
And you had developers that knew how to utilize that extra power. So again, there were maybe like 10 games listed for it when it came out. But that is probably the most bizarre looking thing that people don't know about in my collections like this. That thing existed? I'm like, oh, yes.
Wow.
Yes, it did.
Well, Neal, tell us how everybody can find all of this. Tell them how they can find the Collectible Roadshow. And then if they're interested in more about Double Plus and all the other good work that you do.
So Double Plus Good Games is doing so much with the 2 pluses that we actually have a website called doubleplusgoodgames.com. And then we have a site called doubleplus.gg. One is for the helping developers, that's Double Plus Good Games, and talking about the podcast. Double Plus GG is about how we help charities. So if people want to find us and talk about the Antique Roadshow and see that, they can follow us on Twitter, which is Double Plus Games, Twitter, and then on YouTube, we're at Double Plus Good Games. Just look up Double Plus Good Games, and you'll find us anywhere fine podcasts, videos are sold.
Nice. Now, with the Collectible Roadshow, I mean, you're at your 3rd episode. Have you guys started talking about how it's going to morph? I mean, are you going to start, asking for or accepting, little videos where people show their own stuff and you guys try to give it some context or some value?
So here's the thing: our whole mantra has changed. We have changed over time 60 different ways, and it's ways that we have no idea how we're going to change. It just happens. Like we had no idea we were going to be publishing games, and we were helping others out. We had no idea we would be talking to Nolan Bushnell and Trip Hawkins, and then we had no idea we'd be giving over $500,000 to charities at this point. So we had no idea that's happening. What I'd love to see is because of Twitch and because of YouTube and because of the way we can stream these days, I'd love to bring people who almost like the Antique Roadshow, where we can talk about the value of it, how crazy it is of the thing they have, or how rare it is. Because there are games out there that people have. The one from Nintendo, that cartridge is worth $25,000 from people who played in the World Championships.
Wow.
People may not have the understanding of what they own, and we'd love to bring them on just to talk about it.
Hey, I've got a quick question. Do you have a need for a couple of game testers to test all these games as they come in? Because Travis and I sometimes have a lot of free time.
I do have an opening in the back room of a game store if you want to work for pennies.
Do we get to play games, though? Is that
I have experience at that.
Sitting and playing games?
No, working in a back room at a video game store for pennies. I might know somebody who I could use as a reference too. We got to go here, but for $50, can you tell me what you asked me to demonstrate to give me my job at Game Crazy? You have 10 seconds.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I remember that interview too.
8,
it was in a back room, 3
7,
people, and it's
Oh, you have run out of time.
No. How you would sell me? It would probably be like one of those Wolf of Wall Streets. Like, sell me this controller.
It was the CD doctor, and that is exactly what you did. You said, "Sell me a CD doctor." And I did, and you gave me a job. Neal Bauer, he is with Double Plus. You can just Google Double Plus Good Games, and all of his stuff will come up. We're also going to post a lot of this stuff on our social media. Neal, thank you so much, and all the best. Continue doing great work, and continue helping kids all over the world.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.